Today I want to share this book with you, which is called 100 Illustrators. It's published by Taschen and written by Stephen Heller and Julius Wiedemann. So we have got, basically, as you will notice, there are 3 languages in here. So we have English, German and French, I believe. Looks like French to me. And I will show you the layout of the book. The format is quite nice. As you can see, it's a small book. So we've got the contents, and the contents are basically all the artists. Before we start, this book is not appropriate for children because of some of the images and the paintings. So make sure your little ones are not there. And in the contents we have all the artists featured. And then we have best of the best introduction. The English introduction, then the German, I have to skip that image. And then we have the French. And then we start with the first artist. So the layout of the book is you start with the artist on this page, then there's always a little self-portrait, a little bit of information when the artist was born, the name, and where they live or work, and in some cases their website, and basically a little quote from them, and you have a full page of their art. And sometimes they're sort of mixed a little bit, sometimes it's sort of like a page, sometimes it's a double spread, and there's a little bit of flexibility in that sense. And then there is some of the text by curators, and all of it comes in 3 languages, so you can easily comprehend whether you are a German speaker, English speaker or French speaker. So that's quite convenient, I suppose, rather than having the book published in separate languages. And yeah, so that's how it works. So again, artist, the work, and boom, to the next. The style of works are very different. It ranges from different mediums to digital, and in general I just find this book super inspiring. It's a fantastic source to get familiar with as many illustrators as possible, and these are quote unquote the best. So they have been curated for this book, and therefore, you know, not to say that there aren't any other amazing illustrators out there that haven't been featured in this book, but this is a great place to start with. And I find this book fantastic for not only just getting familiar with other illustrators, but also the color palette is very, very inspiring. As you can see, you can open any page, and because you have a nice big painting, it's easy to put together a limited color palette. And in most cases, apart from, for example, this style where there is a lot of detail and a lot of colors, in most cases illustrators work in a limited color palette, I find, because it becomes more effective if there isn't too much going on there. Even here where there is a lot of detail, you can see it's still sort of within a certain color palette. So I find that Illustrators is a good place to look for when it comes to color palettes. studying their colors, studying their styles. And the variety in this book is fantastic. I don't know what these styles, whether they have like a specific name to them, but there is plenty of fashion illustrations which are really, really cool, and there is portraiture and all sorts of other things that are realistic, and others are more creative. Digital, for example, personally is not my favorite, but if someone is interested, then they would find enough here to be inspired by. So you can see, I mean, we haven't even gone through half of the book, and there's just an abundance of work. I love the fact that pretty much on every page, I don't think there is a single page where there is just dry text. There is always a piece of illustration, even if it's just small. So yeah, they have done a fantastic job. Well, here's a rare occasion where there isn't any artwork on this page, but other than that, all of them tend to have something. It's probably just a handful of pages that doesn't have anything here. Oh, this is the guy from that, isn't that the guy who did the food challenge, you know, the one that sort of would go into these restaurants and order the biggest fried up food and whatever that they have, and take part in like eating it as fast as possible. I think that's the guy. It's also interesting to study styles that are done with like pencil, how the pencil is used. Oh, so it actually says here watercolor and digital. So that's watercolor and digital. What about this one? Mixed media and digital. So it doesn't tell you exactly what has been used, which artists can get away with, and I guess that's a thing. If you don't want to reveal exactly what you're using, why not? This is a fantastic illustration here. Look at the great detail. There I was saying I'm not a huge fan of digital work, but something like this where you can't tell that it's digital, I actually really like. So we've got everyone here: Sophie Loren, Marilyn Monroe, Paris Hilton, Lady Gaga. Oh, so this artist is the same artist who's done the cover, or who is featured on the cover. So Antoine Helbert, born in France and lives and works in France. And these are some of his illustrations. There's a peacock here. And let's give you a quick flip through. I mean, some of them are or could be seen as paintings. Illustrators have a wide range. Some of them are a bit kooky, some of them are a bit wacky. Oh, this is Alice in Wonderland. So I have a feeling this illustrator has done some work for like films or something. Michael Kutscher, born in Berlin, lives and works in Los Angeles. Yes, so here we have 2008, Disney Enterprise, Alice in Wonderland. And then there's another Steamboat, Disney Enterprise, Oz and the Great and Powerful, and then we have River Fairy, also from Oz the Great and Powerful. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. This almost looks like a sculpture. Oh, it is polymer clay and digital photography. So if you take a picture of like a clay sculpture, that makes it illustration as well. It's I should look into the meaning of illustration. What does it make an illustration as opposed painting or photography or sculpture even? It seems to have a very wide range, and the concept is endless. I like this self-portrait, it's quite funny. Simon Spilsbury. Oh, live and works in Bath. I love Bath. We've just been to Bath with Mason in the autumn holidays. Fantastic little town. It's one of my favorite towns in UK, or cities. So there you go. At the end you get Agent's Index. And what else do you get? Other books. And oh, illustration now, portraits. So this is just based on portraits alone, if it wasn't enough. And there is also Manga Magnificent edition as well, logo designs, and then the Taschen stores addresses. So that is it. That's the back of the book. And on the side of the book. And of course it would make a great coffee table book, but very useful as well for inspiration. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.